Today I'm going to try to beat PvC fusion snow levels in the maximum difficulty. This new world features 8 new plants, more than 30 new fusions, and 8 brand new zombies with new abilities. And just to give you a little spoiler, one of these monsters almost made me cry. And it's not even the final boss. Can I defeat the Snow Queen and become the master of PvC fusion? Well, let's find out. The very first level introduced my first new enemy, the Ice Head Zombie. And the new plant was the Furnace, a plant that is required to melt frozen plants. And trust me, you really want to avoid having frozen plants in the garden, because if a zombie eats the ice covering one of your frozen plants, a Zombotani zombie will spawn. And on maximum difficulty, where zombies are 3 times stronger, that's the last thing you'll ever need. Otherwise, this will happen. Yes, believe it or not, I actually lost in the first level because of 2 lethal mistakes I made. The first mistake was using a snow plant, because these don't affect ice zombies, which makes a lot of sense since their heads are literally covered in ice. The second mistake was not protecting my plants with a furnace, because when the final wave activated a blizzard, all the plants without a furnace above them got frozen and eventually turned into even more zombies, which unfortunately caused my defeat. With that in mind, I tried level 1 again, and instead of using ice fusions, I used fire fusions. These not only were immune to get frozen, but they were also very effective against the snow zombies, which helped me get through the end of the first level. Here I thought I had finally figured everything out, until this furry monster appeared for the first time and gave me a little taste of their true power. On level 2, I met the door-stealing zombie from Alaska, and my new plant was the Spruce Sharpshooter. This plant that looks so angry for no reason came in clutch when fighting the new shield zombies, since it was able to pierce through their shield directly. And this level I also made a lot of spiky spike rock fusions, and let me tell you, these babies were literally on fire, burning ice zombies and then making them explode. But even though my formation was again looking majestic, at the end, just like before, I ended up losing the final lawnmower to the powerful furry monsters. Now in level 3, I met with the Trident zombie, which now that I think about it, he kinda looks like Larry Goggins, but instead this one throws his trident and destroys your plants. However, the new plant was the Zombie Nut, a plant that for some reason is not immune to snow. Like, come on bro, you live in the snow, what do you mean you can get frozen? This level really showed me that this challenge was just gonna get harder every level, because at the start they sent me 3 Larry Goggins at the same time. Brother, I don't even have my sunflowers yet. Come on, give me a break. Oh, and it just got worse, because after the first wave took me by surprise, the majority of my plants got frozen and Larry Goggins made it into my house. This left me no option but to change the strategies. And because they start sending a lot of zombies early, I quickly made spicy gloom shrooms protected by walnuts, since 2 of these could basically protect all the lanes. And to give them a little help in the back, I fused a Spruce Sharpshooter with a few zombie nuts, which gave me this white chocolate fusion that happened to throw spinning flowers that is sticking to zombies and deal a lot of damage. This strategy, to my surprise, was pretty good, and this time I did manage to get to the end without losing a single lawnmower. But I think that only happens because I didn't encounter any of the furry monsters. Now level 4 is where the suffering began, and it all started with this guy holding what seems to be a snow bazooka. This zombie was like the Rambo from the snow world, and all I got to defend him is this tiny flower called a snow lotus. If in the last level they were sending a lot of Larry Goggins, and this level they decided to do the same with Carlito Zomboni, but he wasn't really the problem. The real menace was the snow launcher zombie and his bazooka destroying and freezing all my plants, which caused a lot of the furry monsters to spawn and take almost all my lawnmowers. This guy was really making things difficult, and after a quick fight I lost 1 time, and then a second time, and even a 3rd time. No matter what strategy I tried, it was always the same outcome: zombies destroying my plants and taking my lawnmowers. But it all changed when I fused the Spruce Sharpshooter with the Snow Lotus and created this cute fusion that was literally the Tree of Peace, because it doesn't just absorb snowballs, but it also used them to heal plants around it. This gave me enough time to create a row of saw shooters with some spicy pea shooters behind them. This strategy was working incredible against the snow launcher, since now he was boosting my plants instead of destroying them, which led to its own defeat, finally allowing me to advance to the next level. Now in level 5, the new zombie was the Frozen Tallnut, which by the way has almost the same HP of a big black muscular zombie, and it can also reduce the damage of the jalapeno 75%. And with him also came the Jetty zombie. Nah bro, why is bro so ugly? In this level, the new plant was the Loe Aqua, pretty much a cabbage pult that throws frozen water instead of cabbages. But to be honest, these are pretty useless when zombies are 3 times stronger, and for that reason I end up losing my first try. One of my problems this level was that the snow fusion that I had available were not strong enough for all the frozen talnuts and Tom Brady zombies that they were sending, which was allowing them to eat my plants pretty easy. That is why I decided to use insta-kill plants like Chomper and Potato Mine. This wouldn't solve my problem, but gave me enough time to create a decent attack in the back, similar to the one on the previous level. Now I kinda regret not using the Snow Lotus and Aloe Aqua fusions in this level, because I feel like this would have saved me a lot of time. But anyways, after 2 hours of trying, Tom Brady and the Walnut Zombie were no longer a problem, and I finally managed to get that trophy, not knowing that the next level was gonna change everything. Because in level 6 we encountered the first furry monster, and the smallest one from the Snowfur family, the Furling. You know, it's really crazy how a small and cute little rat can become so annoying, because 1 second I was so happy with my defense when all of a sudden they sent me like 10 of these little rats rolling at the same time, instantly destroying my plants when crashing, and this was very annoying. However, in this level I also unlocked this spiky plant called bambul, which ended up being my favorite plant from this Snow world, because this not only resists the damage of the furlings and can kill the Yeti zombies, but when fused with the Snow Lotus, they can even heal themselves by just doing nothing and by absorbing the snowballs from the snow launchers. Now, by putting the Tree of Peace behind them, I was healing them even more, to the point that after a furling crashed into them, they were fully healed by the next second. At this point, I felt invincible, since not a single zombie was even close to getting to my defense, which made me think that this new spiky fusion was the solution for all my problems, not really knowing what this game had prepared for me. In level 7 we do get a new plant, Deletion, which I didn't even got to use in this level, since the bamboo with the spruce sharpshooter combination had everything under control. My strategy for this level was so good, I even managed to create some new fusions like the bamboo shooter and the soak me not. Okay bro, what is it with this plant and his weird names? However, the final wave arrived and the big black muscular talnut appeared, but Chomper said, I got this, and just like that we won the level. Now get ready, because this next level was without a doubt the hardest level of all Plant vs Zombies fusion, because in this level we encountered the strongest snow monsters, the Snowfur and the Elder Snowfur, with 3000 health points and the ability to instantly crush plants. These furry rats were unstoppable, and bro, all I got to stop them is a spruce ballista and a useless frozen plant gift box. Bruh. Like, are you serious right now, bro? To create the spruce ballista, I needed 2 spruce sharpshooters next to each other, and even though this fusion was super strong, these Snowfurs were way stronger, so strong that this would instantly destroy my bamboo fusions, and kept walking like nothing ever happened, letting the little furlings destroy the rest of my garden, until I eventually lost. Another problem in this level was the Yeti zombie, that even though he will eventually turn around and leave you alone, he was still protecting the Snowfurs from receiving damage, allowing them to get closer. I tried to use Chomper to get rid of them quickly, but too many of these were appearing too fast, so that didn't work. Now this spruce ballista was too expensive, to the point where I was just barely able to make one before the Snowfurs came and destroyed everything, so that also didn't work. And just like that, I started losing over and over and over, and it was then when I started to believe that this challenge was really impossible. But then something happened. I accidentally put an Aloe Aqua on the spruce ballista and created the Atlantis ballista. This guy was really powerful, being able to take down Snowfurs by himself, so I tried making as many of these, and surprisingly I managed to get a whole row of them protected by bamboo fusions. I really thought this was it. I had finally found the perfect solution. There was no way I was losing, right? Wrong, because this was just the middle of the level, and no matter how strong this fusion is, when multiple Snowfurs started to come at the same time, it was game over. So I lost again and again and again, and for the first time after 3 hours I crashed out. I stopped playing, and with tears almost dropping out of my eyes, I broke my mouse, so I couldn't play for the rest of the day. However, this break helped me relax and think about new strategies, and with a new mouse it was finally time to defeat these furry vermins. So after reading through the whole almanac trying to find solutions that could stop them, I finally found a fusion that seems to be the perfect counter: squashweed. A fusion made by fusing a squash with a spikeweed. This fusion was not only not affected by the little furlings, but they were also holding back and hurting the elder Snowfurs really bad. And even if one of these made it through, they were too weak to destroy all my bam blocks. And by not having to worry about these monsters anymore, I even had time to create a row of spicy melons that were also super effective against the snow zombies. And with all of these fusions combined, my strategy worked perfect and I was finally able to get through this tedious level. Now it was time for the final challenge, the Snow Queen PvC Fusion final boss. With 60,000 HP and the ability to instantly destroy plants, she was a real menace. On top of that, this was a conveyor belt level where the game provided me the plants, plus I had to face all the new zombies from the snow world, meaning that I had to find a way to stop the snow monsters without being able to use squash weed. The first thing I did was to create a row of bamblotus, because with the constant blizzard, these would heal themselves even faster and protect my fusions from the Snow Queen's attacks. In the second and third row, I was placing all the spruce sharpshooters the game gave me, so later I could turn them into Atlantis Ballista for my attack. And even though these were getting hurt by the Snow Queen's attack, I was able to heal them pretty quick by placing a few shield lotus around. Behind them, I also created some aloe alba by fusing aloe aqua with the snow lotus. These can also heal other plants, but that was not the main reason why I made them. See, after this fusion gains 5 charges, which takes around 25 seconds, it will boost the speed attack of plants around it by 30%, which made the Atlantis Ballista even stronger. This beautiful formation was really holding up, and by also adding some Soak Me Not fusions later, I was able to pull through the absurd amount of zombies coming at the same time. But when the final wave arrived, new random zombies appeared. One of them was the Michael Jackson zombie riding his Jackson 5 mobile. On the other side, I had another big black muscular walnut trying to breach through my defense, but that was not enough to stop me from defeating the Snow Queen and finally becoming the king of PvC Fusion.